Hey guys, so today I've got Rohit.
Hello.
So Rohit, do you want to share with the viewers what problems or what was your issue that made you reach out?
Yeah, so for me it was my neck, back, lower back and knee as well. So like I'd had an accident with my knee, so I'd always thought it was the problem. For my back and everything, I sort of had chiropractic work done, some like sports massage and everything, and it would sort of solve the pain for a bit, but then eventually the pain would sort of come back, and then sometimes it would make other areas worse. So that was sort of, and the other thing was that because I'd started to learn to play golf, and with the golf swing, you're pretty much using every single part of your body.
It has to be like in time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has to work.
Everything needs to be in time, but mine was like, arms going one way, hips going the other way, and so because of that, the way I was learning was like compensating for every little bit. So, and it's still not completely right either with the golf swing, because you change one thing, then it affects something else along the line. So yeah, it's mainly to sort of get away from this sort of compressed and feeling of just constant tension.
How long have you had those symptoms, those problems for?
So I mean, that's probably about 10 years of that was probably the tense stuff. So initially I went to get osteopath for it, and then sort of moved on to like chiropractic and massage. So it was just consistently there, and then eventually it sort of progressively got a little bit worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we found out that we didn't really have to do much. We didn't do it for the lower back.
No.
We did a teeny bit for the neck, but that was just an icing on the cake. And a lot of the results you got wasn't even in the areas where you had the symptoms.
Absolutely nowhere near.
So yeah, how have you found the experience?
It's been really good. It's been really, really in depth. But I mean, I like with my work, working with data, it's always trying to find the root cause, and that's what I've really enjoyed about it. It's like, initially I went to the chiropractic and stuff. It was trying to treat the issue. It wasn't treating the issue. It was treating the circumstance or whatever you
symptoms.
want to call it. Yeah. Whereas
what
here,
with?
Whereas here we've gone for the root cause. Figured that it was a car crash that happened 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
Where the whole of my body was all jostled around, and then it decided to stop me from moving.
So even though, like I mentioned, it was being jostled around, and you managed to walk away unscathed. You walked away, it was fine.
Nothing.
But it's one of those instances where, with such a big exposed movements and unpredictable movements, it's not something that you can really walk away from without any consequences that happen. Over time, as your body kind of compensates, and your body just wasn't happy with being thrown around.
It's quite funny because after the first day, walking through the door of where we're staying, my wife says, "Have you gotten taller?" But that's the thing. It's like it's like when we were doing like the tests, it was just that feeling of, why am I walking so wide?
It was just like, your body's in that compressed state, and now we've gotten to the root cause, we've solved them. Your body's going, it can kind of decompress and just have a big sigh of relief as everything can open and close as and when it should be doing.
Yeah, it's even some of them, it's like the most relaxing of massages, but it's not really the massage. It's like,
because you've come to get all of this done in 2 days.
2 days, yes.
So it's what, 10 years of symptoms, including another 10 years of going back to, if we go back to car crash, it's what,
exactly.
20
years of something.
worth of compensation, worth of symptoms, worth of tightness, compression, and we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, very good.
Walking much taller, much lighter.
Yeah.
And we even managed to get a few rounds of golf.
Yes.
Okay, virtual golf.
But even just like the way that I walk, it's like we were saying, 20 years, I used to always look down out of just natural, and then I forced myself to look up to try and walk. But now it's just like that.
Looking up is natural.
Looking up is natural. There's still the muscle memory of looking down, but you know that will go. But yeah, 2 days of working on that, and then going to have to go back to learn the golf swing now though, because everything's moving properly.
And your swing there's much more movement, isn't it? There's much more range of movement as you swing. It's much more relaxed.
There's none of the sort of stiffness. It's like even on like doing the driver swing, like before when I was trying to get the hips to move, I'd have to lift up my left foot.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now it can stay flat on the floor and the hips still move and then move back through pretty easily. So yeah, don't think I'll be on the PGA Tour, but
But then we normally pointers that a coach or a golf coach would have to get you to practice or drill into you for multiple sessions.
Yeah.
And it'll still be a conscious effort every time you play, like keep the foot down.
Yeah, that's it. It's like keep the foot down, or it was just a matter of, well, I need to get the hip turn, so I have to lift my foot so that it can help it to move. But then that does anything else to the rest of your swing. So it's like now because of that, you need to swing as if you're trying to clutch your own body. And whereas now it's because things are moving, it can be that quite natural, flowy swing.
A relaxed swing.
Yeah.
So, any other benefits
that
we haven't covered?
Well, I need to measure myself, see if I have gotten taller. See if that's happening.
You mentioned like sleep.
Yes, so sleep. So even if we're staying somewhere here, the night before, sleep wasn't great because it was a new place. But yesterday, sleep was great. It didn't sort of wake up, and apparently I didn't snore as well. So that may be
that's good.
Yeah,
that's a big win.
I used to be sort of around here quite phlegmy, and that has reduced a lot as well. So sort of breathing a lot easier, and when I'm walking as well, I used to. So on all of my shoes, it's worn on a certain side of the heel, and I used to kick out my left leg, whereas it's more natural, just straight way of walking now.
Go buy new shoes now.
Well, I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I just won't wear down the heels anymore.
So would this be something that you would recommend to those that are kind of on the fence or unsure?
Definitely. I mean, it's after going through all the different types of things that you could try to sort of address back issues or whatever issues I've had, it has been the one thing that even with simple things that we've done, it's cleared them up like that. It's not that it's, oh, we have to do this thing and then it will take this many weeks for it to see if it's worked.
Within a few minutes.
Yeah, within a few minutes it's been done like that. So yeah, I mean it's sort of the other sort of thing is like, because everything was compressed, the way that you feel in general, sort of mentally as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I felt quite drained, whereas because everything is moving well, the energy is there as well.
A bit more freedom.
Yeah, more freedom, and it's, looking forward to doing other things as well, because now I can move around quite well. so we can do loads of different things.
Because we spent most of the time we spent was in the mapping out, the assessment process. That's where all the heavy work was done, and that enabled us to kind of pinpoint these particular areas, this particular configuration. That's what we need to do, and pretty much 10-15 minutes of creative work, and it's all sorted.
And then a few tweaks here and there, and it's cleared up. I mean, my knee is a whole lot better, and I can sort of like it probably used to like stop around here when I was sort of trying to look, but now I can properly
all the way to the shoulder.
Yeah, all the way. And it's just the amount that it's hard to explain how tight it was until you've sort of seen now how far it can move.
Because it's been such a slow and gradual compensation and compression that it became normal. Yeah. Until now where it's like, oh my god, I can actually see my shoulder.
I can look behind me as well. It's like,
But it's been a pleasure working with you.
It's been amazing,
thank you for reaching out and asking us to help you.
Oh, it's been good.